Hi everybody, this is Rita Holmes, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! From Ohio, and I'm here to bring you my What's Up Wednesday video. I think it's episode 14, and it's not going to be a crafting video again tonight. I decided that since I had my surgery not quite a week ago, it's actually been, about 12 days? I guess about 12 days. And anyway, so it's only going to be 2 weeks on Friday, actually. I wanted to go ahead and tell you about an experience that I had the day of my surgery. And I don't think I've told this because of doing some crafting and stuff, but my stamina for my crafting is not up where it needs to be right now. And it's not because I feel bad. I feel wonderful. It's not because I'm in pain. I'm not, except for the dreadful drain tubes, which hopefully will be coming out within the next week. But it was something to me that I thought was wonderful. If you can believe that stuff can happen on your surgery day when you're going in for such a surgery with cancer, that something so good could come out of it, this did. And so I definitely want to share that with you and tell you that I'll be bringing back more crafting stuff, hopefully within the next week. I already know what I'm going to be doing for my Saturday videos, so I will have that up. But what I want to say is, first thing, I'm doing wonderful. I'm doing great. I have not had any pain except for the drain tubes. I've had a wonderful, wonderful support system from friends and family and viewers on here, and cards and gift cards and money to go out to eat and food being brought to our house, and just you name it, it's happened. And it's such a wonderful support system, and to feel so loved is one thing that really helps you during a time like this. Cancer is not to be taken lightly, and although I know that it seems like I have taken it lightly, it's that we want to make the best out of a worse situation. It's not that my family wasn't scared. I wasn't scared. You know, I have a strong faith in that, and I thought, it is what it is, and I will be, the Lord will take care of me, and I'll be fine. But my kids were worried, and my grandkids and that, and so we had to make some fun things out of it, which we did, and it was wonderful. It has been wonderful from when I found out in February until the surgery and after the surgery and that. But what I want to tell you is my day of my surgery. And as I said before, I have very strong faith. I am a Christian. I go to church. This is going to be something about that. And I know that, we all believe in different ways, and that is fine. I hope that everybody stays and listens to this, because it is very, very much a part of what got me through that day. And because this is my faith. And so I'd really like for you to stay and listen. If you don't, because of what I'm talking about, I understand, okay? Because I don't judge anybody. I don't, we all have our own beliefs. We all believe in different ways. But we are all human, and I believe that in the Bible it is told that we love one another as we love ourselves, I love our family, we love the Lord, and I do that. Doesn't matter to me what your faith or your non-faith brings, okay? So anyway, let's go back to the day of my surgery. Of course, I had to be at the hospital at 7:30 in the morning, and we were there, and I was taken back pretty promptly. They had to get the IV and you get all the stuff ready they do for you for pre-surgery. And I'm going to go on a lot. I guess I'm getting too relaxed talking here. But, they came in, did my IV. Everything went well with that. Everything went well. Everything going on. The anesthesiologist came in and he talked to me. And, they come in, of course, they ask if you've ever been bothered by anesthesia, and I'm like, no, it's never bothered me. He tells me what he's going to use, which doesn't mean hell beans to me because I don't understand one drug from the other, but he tells me what he's going to use, what he's going to do, and, that they'll keep me comfortable, and they'll do all this, and I'm like, okay, and he says, there's 3 things that I have no control of in that room. And he said, number 1 is a heart attack. Number 2 is stroke. Number 3 is death. And I said, I understand that. I says, but I want to tell you that I have some anxiety about that. So I told him my story of why. And if you haven't ever heard my story of why that brings me anxiety, 35 years ago, when I was 35, my mother went in to have a double mastectomy. She had the double mastectomy. She came out of surgery okay. An hour and a half later, she had a massive stroke and she died the next day. So we didn't know her outcome for her breast cancer. 35 years ago, medicine was a lot different, so we didn't know a lot of things that we should have or could have known today. But anyway, her being my mother, me having the same surgery as she had, kind of brings that memory back into my head. So I told the anesthesiologist, I said 2 out of 3 of those things happened to my mother, told him what happened. And I said, so therefore I get a little bit anxious thinking about that. And he said, well, that's okay. He says, you will be okay. He says, I will give you something for anxiety also back there, because I guess you can get anxious and have anxiety issues while you're under an anesthesia. So he says, I'll give you that so that it keeps you really, really calm during all of this. And he says, I'm sure that you're going to be okay and stuff. And I said, okay. I said, I totally understand, but I just wanted you to know where I was coming from when you talked about those 3 things. And so he left. And my breast surgeon is a new breast surgeon. She's very young. And I really love her. Because my other breast surgeon that I had 18 years ago when I had breast cancer the first time, she's retiring. But when my doctor came in to see me, along with her came my breast surgeon that's retiring. Lifted a weight off of my shoulder to see somebody that was so familiar with what had happened to me the first time and the type of cancer I had the first time, that she was there. And, they came in to do markings. They mark where all they're going to cut. Or, she had a permanent marker, not just a Sharpie, permanent marker to mark all over my skin and stuff of where all the cuts were going to be and all this kind of stuff. And as she's doing it, and it was my new surgeon that was doing that, my old surgeon was just talking to me and everything and saying that she was glad to see me, that she was glad that she was going to be there, and that she was going to assist with my surgery. And I told her I was very happy and stuff. And so before they walk out of the room, she comes over and she gives me a hug, which she's always been a hugger. She gives me a hug and she says, don't you worry about a thing. You're in God's hands and He's going to take care of this. I said, I know. And I said, and thank you. And I said, you bring me much comfort to be with me at this time. And she goes, I want to be with you at this time. So they go off and they leave. They go get ready for surgery. They come in with me, get the last minute things done. And they take me into the surgery room. And while I was in there, the first person I saw was my old surgeon and the anesthesiologist. And the the other, Dr. Cox, my other surgeon, she's getting ready for surgery and stuff, for doing something. And the nurses are around me, just, how it is. Everybody in the operating room. And they were going to put me on the surgical table. And the anesthesiologist says, we're just going to scoot you over from this bed to that bed. And I said, that's fine. So they did that. The anesthesiologist and my old surgeon did that. And they got ready to put me under, how they take the little mask and put it over your nose to tell you to breathe deep and all that kind of stuff. And my old surgeon told the anesthesiologist, she says, will you give me that? I want to do this. So he did. He gave her that, and she held it kind of, she didn't put it all the way over my nose. She held it a little bit. And she laid over onto my chest because she's on the floor, I'm on the operating table, and she is short. So she kind of laid over on my chest, and she said for the whole time until I went to sleep, she says, you're going to be okay. The Lord is with you. You're going to be okay. He's got this. He's going to carry you through this. And that's all the words I heard going to be put to sleep. And of course, I went under. I don't know how fast it was or whatever. I just remember her saying that. And of course, I had my surgery. There was nothing. Everything went as planned. They actually got done early. And actually, both surgeons worked on me. One worked on one side because I had a bilateral mastectomy, which they took off both breasts. So one did one side while the other one did the other side. So they worked. It got done faster than it would have if they didn't, which means you're not under anesthetics as long. So that is a big help. And they both did my surgery. And I woke up. I got there at 7:30 that morning. I was at my house at 2:15 that afternoon. They did the surgery. Everything was fine. I had no complications. I had nothing. It was just a great experience. It was a great experience to know that I was with two surgeons that had such compassion for me and my well-being that they thought of me first, not thought of what they were doing. They thought of me. And I was just so comforted by everything that was in that. And I just want you to know that none of this comes from me. None of this comes from me. My strength, everything does not come from me, because I would be a scaredy cat. I would be probably kicking and screaming and hollering and stuff and going, woe is me, why me? But I just want to tell you it's not me. And I know you all said I've been such an inspiration. And that's what I want to be. I want to be a light. I want to be an inspiration to you guys. But I also want you to know my story and how my story affected me. And so far, everything is good. Today, I went to the oncologist. We still don't know about me having chemo yet. But if I do, it won't be much. He says that he was, and I also am going back to the same oncologist I had 18 years ago. And he's like, this is nothing like what you had before. This cancer is a much easier cancer. If you can say cancer can be easy. He says what you had before was very, very rough. And he says, you got through that. You're a strong woman. He says, my prayers are with you. And he says, I know you'll be okay. I have been surrounded by doctors that not only are compassionate about their patients, knowledgeable about what they do, but have faith enough to share it with me. And I appreciate that. So let's just fast forward a little bit and say that whatever comes along now, I'm going to be all right. I know that. I'm cancer free as of right now. They'll decide on chemo by the fact that this one test that comes back will tell them what the chances are of me getting cancer again. It won't be breast cancer. It could be breast cancer that metastasized somewhere else, because that can always happen. but I'm not going to have breast cancer in any breast because I don't have any. So anyway, just to say that, I hope I can still be an inspiration to you guys. And I hope that you will stick with me through this journey and let me take my time to get back to the full crafting ability that I can do. I know it's there. I know I'm just slow. I have really embraced the time of resting. Everybody's like, you got to rest, you got to rest. Well, I've really embraced that. And in fact, I think I kind of like it. And so I want to take more time to rest along as do with what I love to do. So I wanted to tell all of you guys that because I love each and every one of you. You mean so much to me that you take the time to come and spend with me in these videos. People that don't even know me, some people that know me very well, and some people that have met me through these videos. And I just love each and every one of you, even though if I've never met you or never talked to you, and the ones I've talked to, you know, the ones that order from me, I thank you so much. I couldn't have this business without having some customers, and that I appreciate. I couldn't have a social media presence if it wasn't for you guys watching me. And I just want to tell you how thankful I am for that too. So I have a lot that has blessed me within the last month, not to mention I have a new grandbaby that turned a week old today. His name is River. He is the cutest little thing, of course. And I'm not biased. He's really cute. I'll tell you that. I have to show you pictures when I do my videos. I have to pull some up and so I can show them to you because he's so sweet and everything. He did pee on me and initiated me. I'm a very initiated grandma now because, you know, babies will pee on you, and that happened. And, but anyway, he's real cute. He weighed 8 pounds, 4 ounces, was 20 inches long. And, he was born last Tuesday, so he's a week old. His name is River Lee. And, he's just a cute little thing. I'm anxious to watch him grow. I love watching my grandson with him. I mean, my grandson just, he's just in love with that little baby, and I'm so happy for that. So my son's a grandpa who turned 50 today. So he had his first grandbaby at 49, actually. It was a week before he turned 50. There we go. Oh no, this thing flashed up there. Hope it was okay. So anyway, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. I'm going to get off of here. I am just so happy that I could be here, tell you my story. Hope you enjoyed it, and hope you know where I'm coming from with this, and that how blessed I am for everything that happened through all of this and with all of this. And it gives me a second testimony on breast cancer. So that is a good thing. That's something I can share and hopefully help other cancer patients. So anyway, I will see you on Saturday. I do have a card picked out. I'm going to do it something very, very simple. It's a way to use up some old DSP again. And actually, I'm going to use it with some new paper too, I do think. We'll see. I got an order coming, which I'm waiting on, so I'm hoping it's here by Saturday, and I'll use it. If not, I'll use my old. So anyway, I will let you all go. You have a great day, and I will see you on Saturday. Okay? Okay, bye-bye.